I could tell, just from the envelope, that this wasn't generosity. It was performance. Thick, gold-embossed card, curated calligraphy. Not a gesture of welcome, but a declaration of status. Sierra wanted it to look like Mr. and Mrs. Dean were prized guests. Not the same couple she rolled her eyes at every holiday. Mira, as always, held the card up to the light, like her sister's approval could reveal something sacred. She handed it to me and said, "She included you." No note, no handwritten word, just a seat at a table I was never really invited to. I smiled and said, "That's sweet of her." Even though it wasn't, I remembered every jab Sierra ever threw, always with a smile, like the time she offered me breath mints across the dinner table. Or leaned in during a conversation and asked, "So Carter, are you still using your hands?" As if managing restoration projects was beneath her world of curated aesthetics. But I never made it about me. I was there for Mira. I held doors, drove hours for family events, laughed at jokes that weren't funny, picked up tabs no one else mentioned, because she was worth it. Or so I thought. That's why I chose Grace when Sierra mistakenly looped me into a group email during wedding planning. She said, "Mason might be able to get you a spot at the venue," on one of the planning calls. Like she hadn't already, claimed it through me. Wildbrook was booked solid, but I made the call anyway. I told Mason, "It's for Mira's sister. She's not my favorite, but let's help them out." He didn't ask questions, just said, "I'll make it happen." And he did. Rearranged events, cleared a date, got permits. I texted Sierra a quiet thank you, no credit needed. Then I went further, coordinated the catering, paid deposits, called in favors with the head chef. I didn't even mention the renovation project we completed for Wildbrook. I just told Mira, "Food's handled." She kissed my cheek and smiled, "You're the best." And that seemed like enough. Weeks passed in a blur of flower samples and group chats I was rarely copied on. No mention of a thank you dinner, no nod to the help. But I didn't mind. I was doing it for the right reasons. For her, or so I told myself. Kept hoping that the closer we got to the big day, the closer Sierra might come to seeing me as more than just the man her sister brought home. But as the day neared, it became clear. This wasn't our wedding. It wasn't even her wedding. It was Sierra's stage. Every choice spun around me like I wasn't smart enough to understand seating charts or napkin folds. Even Mason asked me, "Who's handling Sierra?" And when I explained I had already coordinated it, he brushed it off. "You've done your part." At the rehearsal dinner, I showed up early to help. My name wasn't on the seating chart. Mira waved it off. Probably a mistake. But I knew better. Paper is often the first place someone erases you. That night, Sierra glowed beneath the chandeliers like a bride herself, wine in hand, surrounded by bridesmaids, makeup perfect, laugh effortless. She walked right past me, not a glance. Still, I stayed, for Mira. The next morning, I stood in the Wildbrook kitchen, surrounded by linen napkins and clinking trays. The chef clapped me on the back. "They don't even realize this whole thing's running because of you." I just nodded. I was used to it. Later, I leaned against a hallway wall, sipping stale coffee outside the bridal suite. That's when I heard Sierra. She hissed, "Deliberate! He's too trashy to attend my wedding." My breath caught. Every favor, every dollar, every late-night call, all reduced to too trashy. What hit hardest wasn't her voice. It was the silence that followed. And Mira, she didn't say a word. No defense, no objection. Just quiet sipping from a champagne flute. I didn't storm out, didn't yell. I just walked away, past mirrors that showed my polished shoes and shaking hands. Not with rage, but with disappointment. Years of shrinking myself so Mira wouldn't. feels stuck between her family and me. Wasted. I stepped outside and breathed the crisp air, watching the perfectly trimmed lawn I helped secure for them. My phone buzzed. "Mason, you need help with the setup?" I didn't reply. Later, he called. Casual at first, but then, "You really know this Sierra woman?" I paused. "She's my wife's sister. That's about it." He let out a low whistle. "That explains it. They told the venue you were cousins, said you vouched for them. That's how they got 60% off." My stomach dropped. I'd given them everything. My name, my effort, my silence, and they used it like a discount code. They didn't just erase me. They leveraged me. And when I heard Sierra call me trashy, I finally understood. I wasn't uninvited. I was never meant to be there. That night, I crawled into bed next to Mira. She curled against me like nothing had happened. Maybe she thought I hadn't heard, or maybe she thought silence meant approval. But as her hand brushed mine, I felt nothing. Not warmth, not comfort, just clarity. I was done being the quiet benefactor. I didn't deserve worship, but I didn't deserve mockery either. I paid for the food. I secured the venue. I made their dream day possible, and Sierra called me trash. But the real betrayal was Mira's silence. Her necklace, in an attempt to sound lighthearted, jingled as she laughed. Her buddy gave her a fake laugh in response, saying, "Yeah, perhaps the kitchen lost power." And the musician, who had been completely normal, just stopped. Yet, in a matter of minutes, the quartet's tone shifted from bewilderment to annoyance. The restroom line curved back toward the gates, and I noticed at least 3 people who had already given up and packed their instruments. When the kids brought in their cute little suits, nothing would flush, so they just left it in obvious frustration. The flower girl outfits were now dragging their feet, complaining about the heat, their iPads, and the lack of snacks. Someone accessed the estate's Instagram and discovered Mason's public profile, which was cracking like sugar glass beneath a boot. A statement screenshot began to circulate. Then 2, then 20, because the terms fraudulent misrepresentation of services had been withdrawn from the event. He witnessed a village riot. People began filming themselves. Phones flared up like torches, news spreading like wildfire. "I'm here." "At the Wildbrook wedding," someone said, "and I'm providing live commentary. There isn't any food, lights, or sound, just vibes." With dismay, someone else added, "I think we just watched a live wedding scam unfold." Sierra hadn't returned yet. Then she came out of the estate doors like a storm in heels, accompanied by Mira and one other person. The rumors had reached a fever pitch. With her veil already in place, one